Sure, I can always talk about Murakami because I have the most FOMO. But you know what? I've watched so many videos now. At this point, the pre-launch, the launch, what people are saying, the Insta photos, everybody's showing off their goods, and I
I
think, and I even watched Amelia Rose's video, and I don't even watch her anymore, but I had to, you know.
I every time I see Murakami unboxing, I don't watch it.
Well, that's a much saner and smarter way to do it. I actually don't listen to them talk anymore. I just kind of scroll to the unboxing, look at the item, and then click away. I can't listen to the stories. Key, hey Jeanette. Yeah. So the thing is, like with the Murakami thing, I watched Amelia Rose, and she did a really smart thing. She bought the passport cover, which she normally said stupidest thing ever to buy is a luxury passport cover. But she said the reason she bought it was to buy passport size notebooks that they do exist to use as a notebook in her bag. Now that's a smart way to use an SLG. But from what I've been told, Murakami canvas is painted on. So painted on canvas can friction will remove that. And
Right.
we know that because we know 20 years ago
It
people have
rubbed
shown
off.
us their stuff and that you've seen rubbed off paint. So unless something's changed, which probably hasn't changed, an SLG doesn't make sense to me to have in that collection.
Yeah, I had
And
one.
I
I
love
got
the
rid of
hope.
it. Actually, I
Yeah.
had two.
Hey.
I had the white wallet and it rubbed off. And
Mhm.
but I sold it anyway. Somebody bought it. And I had the PM agenda in the black and it started to rub off, so I sold it.
Yeah, see, we're with are you why are luxury passport coverage any more stupid than a luxury wallet or luxury card case? Because you actually, if you're like the rest of the human, you tend to use your card cases and wallets daily. Passport covers are used very seldomly unless you're constantly traveling and on the go. That's why Amelia Rose, I'm just
Here.
quoting her, she said that they were dumb to buy. I have a Bradley of London passport cover. I think that's pretty bougie. I spent $56 on a passport cover for my passport, so I don't subscribe to that. I'm just telling you what Amelia said, and then Amelia goes and buys one. So Amelia said that, but then Amelia bought one.
Right.
So I'm just saying, yeah. So she also bought some notebook covers. A lot of people are talking about how because the price point between the SLG and the bags are so extreme that it did make sense. There's not very many options for people to just want a small item or a small piece because it's going to be like $600, no matter what you buy. 200, I think 200 or 300 for a scarf if you can get it. I think the hair scrunchie is 220. So it's kind of, if you want a bag, you're going to spend 3 grand. That's just all there is to it. So a lot of people have bought smaller items, and what's really surprising me it's not so much that there was this a debacle, not as much. I think it's the feeling as an LV. Hey, Saya, as an LV
Hi, Saya.
customer. Hey, Grace. I've always shopped LV. I've bought mostly pre-loved, but I've always felt comfortable. Okay, let's be real. I feel comfortable walking into all the stores. I really don't give a crap. My point of view is, I have money and you want it. That's how I view it. Now,
Right.
if they don't want my money, then I don't need to be there, right? And I think that's the problem Louis Vuitton has done is that people who are customers have always been able to buy things, launch, pre-sales, pre-orders, whatever, were snubbed because they were customers and clients, but not VVICs. So I was talking to some other friends and they said, yeah, I have friends who are good customers of LV that won't buy them anymore after this because they feel slighted that their money isn't good enough to be pre-order when every other drop they've ever had, they could pre-order. And they're
Right.
like, what made this different? You know?
Exactly.
So people,
Um,
it kind of backfired, you know.
probably. Um, the answer to your question, Grace, are you looking for a mulberry Bayswater in oak? I am, but I am not going to attempt to get one and probably until the summer because I am pacing myself because I need to get rid of bags and I already have a bag on the way. So not today.
Well, see, Grace, here's the difference between what Grace says it feels so insulting, isn't it? Are they trying to be like some H? It's not even like trying to be like Hermes, okay? This is worse than that. You know, Hermes flat out said, I don't care what VIP you are, these you can only get so many quota bags when we offer them to you as we offer them to you. Where Louis Vuitton is like, thank you for shopping with us. We can't give you pre-order when they've always been able to do your pre-order. So people are like upset. Like I think even I don't know if you've watched this Cassie Thorpe's video on her Murakami. So she just
No.
wanted the shoes, right? She loves those shoes. Those are $900 shoes, y'all. And they're like, she was on the website. Even her essay goes, that woman bought a P9. She spent 10 grand on a Speedy P9, and she wasn't even on the. Well, let me see if I can get you these shoes. I'm like, are you kidding me? One of her subscribers, who's her, texted Instagram, hey, I'm at this boutique. They have your shoes. Do you want them? That's how that got done. Like, that's crazy. Like, people who, she has like a couple 100,000 subscribers or something. Like, at
Uh-huh.
least 100,000, I know. So, and she shops and she supports and she shows, she loves logos. That girl walks around town looking like a logo, and she has the P9. Like, really, she spent 10 grand on this bag, and you won't let her buy a Murakami tennis shoes? It's like pre-ordered. Like, I
It's
don't. It
kind of
just it
ridiculous.
makes
The
me upset for them.
Now, the last time I was actually in Louis was in July, I think. July or August of last year, of course. And because I had a bag repaired and I was picking up my bag and stuff, a bag that I had bought at Louis. And I went and tried some shoes on, but I didn't like them because I like leather shoes and they had the canvas. Oh, by the way, thank you, Grace, for saying you'll keep your eye out for me. Thank you. Um, I tried on some shoes, but they had over the toe and up towards the top of the toe area, they had this canvas piece on the leather shoe. And so when I stood up, I'm like, uh-uh. And she's like, what? I said, that canvas, it's not letting the shoe move. It's going to cut right into my whole toe, all my toes, all the way across and down the side. And I said, oh, by the way, are these still $800? Because that's how much the shoes were last time. I looked at shoes. And she goes, no, I think she said they're 1,200. And that was another time I just laughed. She thought
Okay,
she
well,
thought
maybe
I was
Cassie's shoes
hilarious
are
because every
1,200.
time I would ask how much something was, because the bag charm, the balloon bag charm, I thought probably 850, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I said, how much is this? 700? You're just being hopeful, like whatever. And she said $1,200. And I just went, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Because
it's
everything
just
just jumped in price.
it's gone so extreme that it's ridiculous. It's just gotten so, and that's why I was watching like Nikki's video today from Somehow Adulting. I didn't watch that many videos today, y'all. Today it's been a recovery day from my field work. But anyway, she did a video about like Quince, however you say it. She did a video. They have their version of the puzzle bag, and she says is better than the Loewe because the Loewe made the puzzle into the puzzle edge, which means instead of individual puzzle pieces, it's one piece now. And the Kint's version has the individual stitched pieces, and they changed the design where when you open the flaps, there's no zipper. It's a lot like the horse, but Nikki said she would still prefer the horse compared to the Kint's one, which I thought was interesting because I've been looking at that Kint's bag. I like that bag.
Even just
Mm-hmm.
looking, I saw the same video today. It was a good video.
Mm-hmm.
She's, she's looking at stuff. It's really cool. I like what she does. But even in the video, that horse bag looked way better than the other bag, than the
Yeah,
Kint's. Is that how you say it, bag?
yeah. I think it's the leather thickness. I
Aha.
think on the horse you can clearly see the thickness of the gauge of that leather, where with the Loewe or the puzzle version, whatever they're calling it. Grace says the last time I went to LV, which was last year, I was more interested in the selection about history of the brand than some trunks. Yeah, the
Right.
trunks are always, I mean, they're always, the trunks sell themselves. Um,
Yes.
so the other thing I was watching was the Workin, people still talking about the Workin and maybe lawsuit. And apparently, Super Daka mentioned it, and a couple other content creators mentioned it, that at least in United States, that there is a patent design portion of Hermes, not just the logo branding, but the actual descriptor of the bag. Parts of it are patent,
It's
so there
patented
could
in the
be a
United
lawsuit.
States.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In the U.S. and there was some other country. There's only 2 countries or so that this is done in. I think Italy and the United States. Um, but then they were saying how, but people are still they're still saying Walmart. It's like, y'all, Walmart's website hosted a third-party seller. Yes, it says Walmart, but when you get that package, it doesn't have a Walmart packaging.
But what
It
have we learned
clearly,
about people?
they're not very smart.
People are stupid. Yes. Okay, I put
Well,
the wish
they
list.
want to say it's
I put the wish list banner up because the mulberry oak has been added to my wish list, and for now, nothing else. Because it's going to fluctuate. I'm keeping a running wish list on my in my book, and just so you know, I'm not lying, man. This is my wish list. It's blown out, but yeah. And another thing that I'm doing this year is I'm keeping track of all of my empties, and this is my first one. And then I'm
nice.
gonna writing down whether or not I've hit ban
Oh,
on it. It's gone.
dun,
There's still a
dun,
little in here, but it's gone.
dun.
Oh, it's got my initial on it.
Isn't it
So
awesome with
anyway,
your
yes,
initials?
I would buy another one, but I have a
Oh,
Laura Geller that I'm replacing with. So this is going in the garbage.
yeah. Okay, so I did buy a lipstick for my case. I bought the wrong thing.
Oh
I bought
no.
I bought the lipstick that already had a case. I needed to buy the refill, which I thought I was doing, and I didn't apparently buy the refill. I bought the whole lipstick. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I love this lipstick. This is a Dior shiny, whatever it's called, hydration. But look how pretty this is. This is the case it came in. This is the case I bought. This is called me, me, uh, 922, and it's called Wildor, Wildor. Now it was sold out on Dior.com. So I went to Macy's to get it because they didn't have it on Dior, and I love this color. It was worth getting it just to have this color because I'm embracing the dark
So
reds.
which lipstick do you have to get to go in that case?
That same lipstick, just I need to buy the refill, not the whole case with the new one. It should be like a $32 one instead of the $46
Oh, I
one or
see.
whatever I purchased. So I just picked. I guess maybe on Macy's they don't sell the refill. I probably just looked at the wrong, I don't know, listing, because sometimes they show it as they'll show the whole lipstick case, not just the refill. So I hit the wrong. I don't know. This is a Jackie error. This is not a them error. So I was just excited to get this color, and I'm just like, I want that color, and I was hoping I got the refill, and I thought it was weird that the refill cost as much as the case, because I was wrong. So
Okay.
anyway,
Let me look at photos.
I did field work yesterday, which I hate doing. It's fun to do. I was excited that I did it, but it's all day. Food normally doesn't happen because you're getting a job done, right? But the problem was, even though the day was gorgeous, clear as could be, it was 34 degrees outside, y'all. I don't do cold. I despise cold weather. My back hurts. I hurt. I hate it. I was in the car trying to warm up most of the day. while everybody else was standing out in the field because we had a snafu with some equipment, so I was a little redundant. What I needed to do, we didn't have enough walkie-talkies for. So that was part of the after the fact. Let's talk about what can be better. Like, well, we need more walkie-talkies,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
and because I have to
Everybody
keep
should have
line of
one on a
sight.
job site.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we normally do, but there was a miscommunication. So one person had three of them.
Oh, with them
Yeah.
in their vehicle,
And then
wherever they were.
and then
Okay.
R2, the batteries didn't get charged the night before,
Oh.
which is so they died halfway through the day.
Hmm.
So what should have been maybe, I don't know, a 2-hour trip of actual deployment of work, we did not. We started probably actively doing our part of the job around 10. We did not finish until 3, and we did not pull out until 4. And y'all, I was in Texarkana. If y'all don't know Texas, that is a good 5.5 hours away from where I work. So at that time, we left at 4, actually 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. I can't remember anymore. 4, 5, 4, whatever. And we started driving. So driving back to Austin from Texarkana is you're driving into Dallas, going around Dallas, and then going 35 south. It was a very long night. We did not get
I
into
don't
the
like
office.
driving in Houston. I don't know. Dallas is even worse.
Dallas,
Um,
of course.
when
Mhm.
I was stationed in Oklahoma, I used to be in the Air Force. I used to run job sites out there, and also I was on call in the middle of the night because I did like outside plumbing and stuff. And every winter we would have a fire hydrant freeze. It would be shooting up into the air, so we would have to go get the fire hydrant key to turn the water off to it in the middle of the night. And one night I was out there in my parka and we were taking turns. We were getting soaking wet because as the huge shower of water was hitting the ground, it was freezing. So we couldn't get any traction to turn the key and we're slipping and sliding and getting soaking wet on the ice. Yeah, it's no fun working outside in the cold.
Nope. I have so much. Why does everybody feel like my twin, who has not talked to me all day today, all of a sudden is like blowing up? Oh, guess what Jackie did to her phone today?
What? Where'd you drop it?
It slipped a dog
Oh,
bowl of water.
it slipped in the dog bowl of water.
So I
Okay.
took it out, but I haven't charged it for many, many hours. They say to wait, 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 wait. So yeah, we'll see. Saya says it's snowing 13 inches. Oh, 13 degrees. Oh my Lord Jesus.
Well, he's Nanook of the North. I mean,
He's Midwestern. He's
aloha,
actually there's people further north than him. Can you believe that? Like
aloha,
if he's at 13
Minnesota.
degrees, could have been the 12. Oh, it's just like all the snowstorm that's coming down, the cold weather, and then Los Angeles is burning up. I
Oh,
am
I know.
like watching the news, y'all. Okay, so the updates are people who know Jacob. He's okay so far. He's keeping posts on Instagram, but he's on standby to
Um,
evac.
I watch,
Um,
as you know, well, you may not know, but I'm into handbags, planners, and purses, and those are the videos that I watch a lot. And one of my favorite plant YouTubers, Benji Plant, I don't know if any
mhm,
of y'all watch him, but his house was lost last night, and he posted in the community post.
mhm. Well, the renegade realtor who does come to our show and I believe is a member. I can't remember. Maybe he's also in Los Angeles. He does not. He's on standby to evac. Jacob is Los Angeles based, and one of his mods is okay. But I have other friends who have grandchildren and family in Los Angeles that have had to evac. So far, no one's that I know of have lost property yet, but the word is yet, because that's
Yeah.
pretty like. I mean, these are like multi-million dollar mansions, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
how are the insurance companies
I
gonna
think
survive
that
this blow?
Calabasas is burning and the Palisades is burning. I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah,
expensive
Santa
real estate
Monica.
burning. Santa Monica's
Yeah,
burning.
everything that is, I mean,
News flash:
it's all
Supreme
the
Court refuses to delay Trump's hush money trial or sentencing or whatever. I get news
you
flashes that
know.
drop down. I'm so sick of hearing about that man. Anyway,
Jesus, does Jacob ever say in his videos why he uses a green screen for his videos?
oh, because he's a
Because he
hoarder.
travels.
I'm just
Well,
kidding.
that too. He also travels. He travels a lot, so a green screen can go with you anywhere you go. He used to
Allegedly, I'm
travel.
just kidding. It just seems like I don't think he's really a hoarder, except for with
No,
Chanel.
well, no, he keeps every bit of packaging that
I
everything
know.
Chanel comes in. That's a lot of paper. It's like, every bag he's ever purchased from Chanel, he has all the packaging to it. He said it, So every piece of cosmetic, he's kept everything. Yeah, I
Insurance
write Jake
companies
Grace like
canceled people's insurance a few weeks before they saw the fires were going to hit. It's not illegal, believe it or not. It's in the fine print. That's
wow.
that's disgusting.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, these are multi-million dollar homes, yes. But most people's homes are their largest investment, and it's more than just the land value. So all the things in
Exactly.
those homes, I mean, even if you don't have everything insured, because not everything in my home is insured, that's just horrible. Oh, that's it makes me feel ill because Spencer and Heidi Pratt or whoever, whatever their names are, they were big 2000s, the first like reality kind of influencer people. They're not very popular now, but they were, and they made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, spent a lot of money, are still, but they had their house in Los Angeles that's worth a lot of money, and wow, and you're assuming everybody has these homes paid for. Pretty sure most of those homes have mortgages. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be happy, but they're at least insure the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
what
so
really
some of
sucks
those
is I
homes,
know for a fact that Benji was renting and they lost
what?
everything. Benji was renting. He didn't own the house. He was renting. So he lost
Oh,
everything inside his house
all his
and
belongings
everything.
and
Yeah,
nowhere to live.
correct.
Wow. Ronnie says Ricky Lake and her husband lost their dream home. Oh, they built it from scratch. I feel bad too because Rachel Ray lost her home to that too. It was due to a fire. It was a different type of fire, but it was still a fire. A few years ago, we're also on alert. Wow. Yeah, see, here's the thing about what people don't understand is as maybe Jolie knows about this, but there's creosote. It is a piney, oily substance that is in the plants in that area that goes into the underbrush and actually goes into the soil, and it's like a sub, I forgot the name of it, but it goes into the soil sublayer so that when it burns really, really
Hot.
fast and hot. And they even there's a special word for the way it burns. And then with the wind blowing everything, it's just moving it. This stuff is hard to put out on a good day because not only is it on the surface, it's subsurface because it goes a little bit below the ground and it just sits there and it doesn't. There's no way for it to dissipate other than for burning it off.
We got to burn it
You
off.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benji was Keith. He is so beautiful with spaces. So I look forward to him finding another place and rebuilding his plant
Leaving
collection and
California.
everything possibly. I don't know where his parents live. I think they're fairly
Well,
close though.
there's people who say that even the earthquakes didn't look like this. You know.
Oh no, things
So
are getting, yeah, a
I
little
think
bit
a
more
lot of people would, and that's the
inhabitable
most
for the
heartbreaking
humans.
thing, Grace, is that people had to leave their home or not even get home because they were in other parts of the city and had to evac. Their homes, their dogs are left at home. They have ring cameras, y'all. People could see their dogs in their house surrounded by fire, and I can't. I am devastated.
Jackie, you're
Uh,
gonna make me cry.
yeah,
It's
I know. We're not
horrible.
moving on. Moving. Let's change the
It's
subject. Okay,
horrible.
let me.
Uh, he luckily Benji and the dogs and the cat and the dog and the cat and the significant other all got out. Oh, you have something to open?
Yes, I have an unboxing. Hey, Jennifer. I have an unboxing from the Goodwill, Michigan, and it showed up today. I think this is my last Goodwill item, and I have. Oh, this is super Jacob's fault. I bought my very first Doll Kills item. So Dolls Kills is kind of a pop culture store.com, and I know the whole thing's polyurethane. I know it. I didn't care. I had to have it, and I watched it, and I watched it, and I watched it, and it finally went 50% off, and I bought it.
Eh,
Oh, okay, so what did I buy? Oh, I remember what I bought. So this is one
what
of
did I
those.
buy?
I put a bid on, nobody outbid me. So it's funny. I was talking to it's Adrian. He's actually getting ready to he's taking a long trip. He's going to the Philippines and he's also going to well, he's Filipino, but he's also going to Japan. So he's getting ready for a 3-week trip to go visit family and go do fun things and it's very exciting to hear that because he
Yes.
actually speaks Tagalog. So it's going to be fun for him to go home. And he's already saying, I'm going to gain so much weight because,
The food,
Asians, we
yes.
like to feed you. So, but he was saying that he's heard that Michael Kors is coming back again. And I agree. I think Michael Kors is ready to bounce back into people like them from I don't like them. I
Right.
think they're doing some design changes. I think this whole thing that happened with Capri and Tapestry not going through has forced them into we need to make some changes, you know? And this is an older Michael Kors bag.
Now, his older stuff was
It's
better,
gorgeous.
right?
Oh,
Because
absolutely gorgeous.
I think I have one Michael Kors. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's going on this shelf behind me here.
And this is a Michael Kors. So this is his down line, but this is an older bag. Now the reason I got this is someone just got rid of it is because there's some scrapes and scratches back here. Like I don't
It's
care,
leather.
But this. I know. People just like I'm tired of this bag, but this is a hobo bag. There is nothing to be tired about. This bag is all the fashion right now, and the color is cognac. It's just the color
Yeah,
that
they come and
everybody
go,
wants.
hobos.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like
some people
these
just keep
don't.
carrying them year round. I see them year round
Yeah.
here.
I wear them all year round. There's a little bit of wear on this corner, one stitch is coming out. But in general, this bag is in really good condition.
It
So
is.
I'm like, man, I'm using this bag. So I'm excited
Okay, Jackie,
about this.
you see the thing running across the bottom of the screen?
Oh, Jackie wants to talk about bag trades. Oh,
That's one of the
okay.
things that you mentioned.
So Jackie had a friend reach out and say, Jackie, you know that bag you have? I'm like, yeah, I know that bag I have. Would you be up for trading it? I'm like, that bag? You know, I always say ask. I always say ask, right?
Ask, you
And
never know.
but so I said, can I think about it? Because I was like, I love that bag. Like I love this bag. It was a huge deal to buy it. I did a big video on it. I freaking love that bag. I've never used it.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
like, I've had it for over a year and I've never ever used it because it's one of those my precious. And
Mm-hmm.
those are exactly the bags I try never to keep because when bags become my precious, they
Yes.
become trophies and trophies become worship things. Like, I worship you. You're so awesome. I love you. And I'm like, oh, yeah,
I
no.
don't have any like
It's a
that.
thing. It's a thing. It happens to me. It happens to me because it's the color. It is faded
Oh,
blue Coach
oh,
Sammy. So I've never used a Coach Sammy. I love this bag. I think it's gorgeous, but it looks a lot like a
oh, okay.
Kelly style Kelly style bag, and
Yeah,
I'm more of a Birkin style bag girl.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
so much into Kelly so much, and I have that one that Winnie just gave me. So I'm like, Jackie, the one Winnie gave you, you'll actually use. It's bigger. The Sammy's too small. You've never actually carried it. You're just a collector magpie who wants to keep everything in that collection because I bought everything I could in that collection. But your friend says, "Oh, I have this other bag that you love." And I'm like, I love that bag too. And I can't get the one she has anymore.
Okay.
So I'm like, but I have it in green. Like, so I'm like, Jackie, do I need her bag in burgundy? I already have it in green. So this is what's going off in my head, right? Like, Jackie, you don't need two. But you're like, Jackie, every time you can get this bag, you try to get this bag. This line it's the Dooney and Burke Toscana line. Every time I
Okay.
can find it, I buy it, right? Every time I can afford it, I buy it. I don't care what color it is or what style it is, because it's my favorite leather that they don't make anymore, right?
Okay.
So,
I've never tried
so
it, so I guess I won't.
yeah, no. So she's like, well, today she's like, if I give you this, I'm gonna give you more than one. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh. And then she said, I
Mhm.
have these two I'll give you. And I said, well, just give me, whatever Dooney and Burke you have and, that you want to part with, and I'll take it, and yes, yes, I'll trade. So again, what does Jackie do? Jackie needs to downsize and curate her collection. So I give away one bag to get five. I'm like, girl,
Right.
five is a lot. She goes, oh, it makes me happy to give them to you. And she always does this every time she has given me bags. It's like, we trade one for one. She gives me five every time. And I'm like, but Latina. So this isn't going to happen till February because I have to mail it out to her. And first I have to get it. And it's like 3 shelves behind me in the corner. I know where it is. It's just not easy to get to. So I'm gonna deal with it in February and mail it out to her. But it was hard for me to part with that. But it's probably the thing is, the Sammy 21 is a little smaller. The Toscana bag she has is a bigger, heavier bag, which is why she's getting it out of her collection because she's not doing bigger, heavy bags anymore. And at some point in my life, I will get there. I will be at the
Yeah.
point where I'm like, I can't use your big bags anymore. I'll move them on. So she's like, I know I'm not helping your bag problem. So
Well,
I'm like, no, no, it's fine. I love you. I love the bags. If they don't work for me, I will find them good homes. But I
hello,
want the
Erin.
Toscana.
And I went through a phase because both of my rotator cuffs are torn out from moving patients, but I don't want to get them fixed if I don't have to. But until they completely lock up, I'm not going to do it. But I went through a phase where I wouldn't carry heavier bags. But that all changed when I turned into an old lady and started carrying them on my arm because my arms are strong. It makes
Mm-hmm.
up the difference. So my top handles, like this is my current bag. Bag of the day. What's your bag of the day?
I switched into it. I'll show you. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. The weight
This is
distribution of
from
handheld
Kim.
and shoulder bag is different,
Yeah.
you know.
And so,
So this is my bag of the day.
oh, that's cute. Toki doki.
Toki Doki. And I
I
got
have a
this from the
Toki
Goodwill
doki planner cover over there. I love it.
out of Hawaii. And now this I won't show my sister because she'll take it. Her daughter collects Tokidoki. They have like hundreds of Tokidokis. They really do. Her kid loves blind boxes. So every Christmas, holiday, birthday, whatever, there's a blind box that shows up, a couple of them. And y'all, those blind boxes are not inexpensive. They're like $14, $15 per,
They
you
are.
know. And you never give one. You never just give one. You give multiples. Like, oh, here's 3 blind boxes. You spent like $45.
I changed the picture up at the top of the channel, but you're not going to be able to see it very well. But that's my receipts. I looked at Coach.com the other day. Sorry. Someone's calling. Let me
Marilla,
put.
I love hobos too. They
But
never get old for me.
I went on Coach.com yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday I sent this message in chat? Do you see the little box on our screen?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can't read it, but I can see it.
Yeah. That is a Coach Willis on the Coach website.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I just about
And
died.
it's got a bunch of cornerware. And in fact, the corner that they're showing shows a bunch of cornerware. And it's $695.
They're on their everlasting
on their website.
They crazy.
And
They crazy.
it's in worse condition than this, which is
Mm-hmm.
my Willis. Do you have a Willis? I
Both
think
of
we
my
all do, don't
Willises
we?
are with Craig.
Oh, you gave them all
I
to
sent
Craig.
mine to Craig. I got a black one and I got a brown one, and he really wanted the brown. Yeah, here's the thing though. He loves those bags, but
Uh-huh.
that's the collector in him. Those really are just not the right size for him. He really
Right.
is
It's too
a
small for him.
I carry he wants a 16-inch wide, at least 10 inches high bag, at least, if not taller, because he carries a lot. Crick's been fine. He went to go see his kiddo. He's still recovering. He's probably lurking if he's around Saya. He went to, yeah. I have three Willises, but not vintage. I have one that's not vintage. You're right. I do have one that's not vintage still. The two that I had that were vintage are at Craig's house. The one I have left is a legacy, from that legacy collection or whatever, which you can find all the time, all
They
over the
made a new
place.
version of the Willis. This is how much I pay attention. They did?
Oh yeah,
But the
well,
thing
this
of it
new
is,
version of the Willis. No, it was 10 years ago though. It was for
oh,
their
okay. Yeah,
75th
I
or
don't,
whatever.
maybe
Yeah.
this is not an old one.
No,
How can I
no,
tell?
that's an old one. It's the one that has the striped lining in it. The striped lining is the legacy lining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I
Kind
wonder
of
where
like
this
there's
one was
a
made.
vintage of Tattersall lining, which is that weird cross, you know, I don't know, weird pattern. Morel says they made the 1941 and originals collection. Yeah.
This is a China bag. That
Hmm. I
makes
got
me
rid of most of
sad.
my Costa Rica. I have a few vintage
I have some
coats left, but
America.
most of them ended up going to my other friends who collected them, because when I bought them, 5, 10 years ago, they were way cheap because nobody wanted them then. They were old fashioned. My mom had that bag. Nobody wanted them 10 years ago. And then you could get them for 20, $30 all day long. And now it's like, well, it's now $110, on the cheap. Hmm.
Anyway, I just thought it was ridiculous that they put that coach up there for.
Oh, Saya has a P9. Did you hear my comment, Saya? No, okay, you are a Louis Vuitton person. And if you didn't see Cassie Thorpe's video, she bought the P9 in teal, turquoise, right? She has some other LV bags. She's a pretty much she doesn't just spend in one store. She buys all the brands. She wasn't able to get a pre-order for her Murakami collection items. She had a subscriber help her get them because the subscriber was in the store where they had it. I'm like, wow. When people like Cassie Thorpe, who are in New York City, who are
Right.
well known, on an influencer. I mean, she was an influencer and did that whole thing with Fendi. It's not like she's not on the map. The girl's on the map. It's like, if she's not a VIP,
Um,
VIP, who is? No.
Jennifer, the one that they were showing had been rehabbed, but it was showing cornerware. So I thought that was, well, they're not fixing the cornerware or anything. They're leaving it and still selling it for $6.95.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, Saya. So what's happening is I'm watching a lot of people who are unboxing Murakami items that are they bought their item. They had to fight to get the item, and left them with a very bad experience and taste for Louis Vuitton. Now, some people on the opposite end said they had a great experience. Most people that I've seen have not. Most people that I've seen got their item, showed their item. How do you feel about YouTube who buys subscribers? I have her Marc Jacobs. I love her Marc Jacobs reviews. See, okay, guys, y'all, I don't understand. I don't understand how buying views does anything, because the algorithm likes engagement, right? So it's a like, a view, and a comment. It's not just subs. Subs, you
Humble.
can have all the subscribers, but no engagement, and it doesn't do anything for the algorithm. So why are you buying views? I really don't understand, y'all. I didn't even know this was a thing. But my husband has told me, in like the gaming community, There's a lot of stuff like this. So I'm like, what? So I don't know. Keith says time era millionaires who drop 2,000K. But you see,
Yeah.
those VVICs like that who drop $200,000 on Louis Vuitton, but you don't alienate all your other people. I mean, that's just it's either incredibly inept of this launch or completely planned. And I can't believe they're that stupid, so I think it's completely planned. You know? I just picked up some crumble cookies, says Katie. Jennifer's Connor wears after Connor wear
Did
after
you?
rehab. Yeah.
And did you all see that thing on the crumble cookie where those two guys, I think it was two, flew and got a bunch of crumble cookies, and now I can't remember where they opened their little pop-up. It was like in England or Australia, but they bought crumble cookies, put them in their suitcases, flew them. And so by the time and then they upcharged, they were like $17.50 a cookie. And people stood in line. There was this long line, and everybody was going, well, they're stale. They're awful. Because all these
what is
YouTubers
crumble?
bought them.
What's a crumble cookie?
Oh, it's a cookie. I think it's out in California, but they stole the idea from another cookie company, and they're just really
Mm-hmm.
fancy cookies.
Well, okay, you might understand this, but you know the store that's in Orlando in Disney Springs, I can't remember Grimaldi's? Is it Grimaldi's?
The
The
chocolate
super the chocolate the super like cookie place that you have to have a line, a digital queue to get a ticket, to get a queue, to get a cookie. Seriously.
at Grimaldi's.
Um, I think it's Grimaldi's.
Grimaldi's
Yeah.
Grimaldi's is in Orlando, like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you don't have to
Bakery.
do that at any other bakery or at any other Grimaldi's. I can tell you that.
Only the one at Orlando Springs, or
Right.
Disney Springs. I have heard that if you want the cookies, you have to go to the other locations, and you can just go get a cookie.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's okay. So it's in uh Salt Lake, the land
You're
of the
Mormons,
Mormons.
okay. Yeah.
Last
Well,
year before
last year
Christmas, people
before
were lining up
Exodus,
for some cookies. And they
they
were
were
all
all
stale.
stale.
Yes.
Wow.
I can't remember where they did it. It was either Australia or I don't know. They flew
Ooh,
them. They
Saya.
were
Saya says
lit.
our store is next to the Lindt chocolate. Oh my goodness, that is so awesome, Saya.
Stale
When you
cookies are
feel
the
like
new
it, just
fresh cookies.
send me some chocolate, sir. I'll eat
Yeah.
it. Of course, I don't mail order chocolate in the summer times. It's like the only time I can mail order chocolate where it won't melt into a puddle.
My cousin is half North Korean from her mother's side and half American from her dad's side, who's my uncle. And she always makes fun of her. She goes, we were standing in line like some Asians standing in a line. It's so funny. We were
I
we were
can't believe
standing in line.
what
She
Keith
always
is
says that.
saying. He's
We
saying
were standing
Japanese
in line.
people love queuing in line. They'll wait 3 hours
We
for
were standing
popcorn
in
or
line.
pancakes.
We were
See, I
standing in
am that
line at the
person.
Korean barbecue, like some Asians standing in line at the Korean barbecue. She's so funny.
Funny. But yeah, here's the thing. I don't stay online for nothing. I just don't. I can't do it. I didn't do it. I barely did it when I was young, and I sure as heck don't do it now that I have a bad disc. I'm like, there's
Oh yeah.
nothing that you have to sell that I want bad enough to eat or buy or whatever. So if I can't get it online, if I can't if you can't pay a personal shopper to do it, if you really, really need it, then I don't need it. You know? He says your cousin is North Korean for real. Oh, did you
My
say North
cousin,
Korean?
no, not my cousin. Not my cousin.
Uh,
My cousin is half North Korean and half American. My aunt
oh.
is North Korean, and she and her mother got out before the Iron Curtain fell, and her brothers and father were left there. And there's a documentary about that called Divided Families. And when you see Chai Stanfield, that's my aunt. And they tell the story of her life. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Saya. All
I'm
right.
standing
I
in
don't
line in
even
a
look.
store.
It is a common joke. It is a common joke that anybody talking about TJ Maxx and Marshalls, like, yeah, but them lines. Do I really need this thing? Because there's always a line. Did you see Autumn's got over 200K views on her? I Here's the thing, Saya. Watched her review. I didn't think it was anything more spectacular than what Jacob did. I thought Jacob's was funnier, and I'm just like, how did she get 200,000 reviews or views on that video? But yeah, whatever. Um,
Keith,
has
you'll know you found the right one when it starts out with an Asian woman in the garden. That's my aunt. She's like picking stuff in her garden in Indiana. Okay. So I think the videos. Well, yeah, I think I did give her an
yeah,
atta girl on
true.
that video. It was a very good, well done video, the way that she approached it.
Mhm. Less
Very, very
sensational
good.
than some of the others. Less clickbaity, actual substance. That's true. But I'm just a super Jacob fan, y'all. So, and his came out like way, way, way long time ago. So right when Saya first talked about it and I talked about it, I think Jacob talked about it, and then it was hush silence. And then somehow it just got blown up.
Right.
Yeah. I was
Where are
watching
we?
one from YouTuber who talks about law, and it said, "Yeah, the law stuff's interesting. I like the law YouTubers. It's kind of I like all the speculation and drama. It's fun." He says, "I'm South Korean ethnically, and I've always wanted to visit North Korea, but I'm scared." Oh yeah, I couldn't.
Oh
Nope,
yeah.
nope,
Yeah.
nope.
My Aunt Chai led a group called Divided Families, and on 9/11, the actual 9/11 when that happened back, she had a meeting with Colin Powell the next day, because they were making headway with the North Korean leader at that time for the families to come together. But and even though 9/11 had happened, Colin Powell kept that meeting with my aunt, so I always respected him for that. But when John Un came in, he ended it. He ended the program for the families to get back together.
That's so sad.
I'm making tomorrow different way gay can. Okay. Good. It's good. It's good you're making a video. You should make more. Just saying, Saya. Something called trade dress, which means the hardware is patented. I'm way behind here. I wouldn't even attempt it. Not with that crazy person in charge of that country.
Grace says, "Saya, I felt like Autumn's video is as if she's like a teacher. I mean, she is teacher, even though
She is
she's
a
not
teacher.
working as one now. But it's always as if she's teaching. Yeah, she always does that. It's always a
Yeah.
lecture.
Yeah, she's lecturing on stuff that we like, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's more interesting.
Actually, Keith, my aunt's father was Chinese, so they had left China to go to North Korea. So, and she's tall, and my cousin is taller than her father. And then another part of the story was that my aunt's father wanted her to know that he was alive, so he started running back and forth across North Korea until it hit national news. Anyway.
Yeah, Grace. Autumn's very impartial. She gives her opinion in such a way that you know her opinion, but she's not judging other people's views,
Right.
which is
She
hard to
always makes
do.
sure not to
And
do that.
honestly, yeah, and some people do that in a way that you still feel like, did you mean that? Because I feel like you don't mean that. Where Autumn, it's like she's very consistent over all the years she's been doing videos. I've been watching her the longest. She's pretty much my gateway into YouTube land because I found her videos first. And it was a how-to video, you know. And I kept watching her because she was in Houston and at the time, and I'm a Texan, so it's like, oh, someone
Right.
in
That
Houston,
makes
someone
sense.
local, because I'm like, Houston is local. I mean, so many of the YouTubers I was watching, like, I'm in New York, I'm in LA. I'm like, well, I'm in neither of those places. I'm in Texas, you know. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah. She has a very soothing voice. Yeah, I
Jolee,
think
what
that
years
she
are you talking
truly
about?
makes an outline. Oh, just before the Iron Curtain fell is when Aunt Chai came, and then I think the late 70s or the early 80s is when he started running. So I would have to ask my aunt or watch the
My
documentary, which I can't find now.
Saya says, I heard Burberry might be closing all outlets in the US and seeing Cassie shop at Woodbury outlet. They had an extra
Extra 60.
60% off sale. That makes a complete sense. I mean, Burberry brick and mortar stores are expensive. And if they can pull out, I go to, there's a Burberry outlet right here in San Marcos, close to where I am at. And I go in there and it's like a snooze fest, y'all. It's not that interesting out here. We're in Texas, in sunny central Texas. We don't need trench coats. We might today, but today's an exception.
Yes, yes. This is the first time I ever had eyeballs looking back at me, the fish heads in something that she made. But the
You
last time was the last time was when I was a kid that she cooked traditional Korean. But whenever you go, of course, whenever I go to her house, the food is nonstop. Eat this, eat, but it's like hot dogs and whatever she's making, you
know,
know. But so I know what when Asian people say they like to feed you, yes, constantly.
I always thought it was normal to eat food that had faces on it. It was only when I came to America that people freaked out when their fish had a face or eyeballs were
Oh,
staring at them. And I looked at them. You know,
tastes better
fish
with the
have
eyeballs.
faces, right? And eyeballs. It's kind of normal. Fins, tails. It doesn't come filleted. It comes with the
Right.
whole body.
Whole. Yes. That's fine.
And there's people, it is so funny. People are like, oh, I love sushi. I'm like, oh, where'd you go? What do you order? You know, because I'm Asian and I like sushi too. And he's like, oh, but I don't like any of the raw fish. I'm like,
And feed on. Yeah, like chicken.
okay. So I'm
They're
like,
going to
well,
eat sushi, but they don't like raw fish? Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
it's very, very American, okay, y'all? It's very American that people are like, I love sushi. And then you actually talk to them about sushi and they don't like anything to do with raw fish. I'm like, you
Well,
do
then
know
what
what
are you
sushi
eating?
is. They're eating spicy tuna rolls and they're eating eel fish or anything that's cooked. The cooked fried shrimp. It's
Oh,
not traditional. It's more like,
I don't
I would
do the
call it
rolls. It's too
Americanized
much
sushi.
rice, you know? I
Yeah.
like the sashimi.
Americanized sushi. Yeah. Same in Hawaii. Yes. Yeah, Grace says I find it strange that people don't eat the whole animal. I do too.
Uh, imitation crab. Yeah, they do. All bones add more flavor. If you make a shrimp soup with the tails, yeah.
That's how they make the best stock. It's like
Yeah.
what? They all have those rolls that either fried
Oh,
seafood inside
that's
or
not
doused in sauces. Yeah.
that's not
Yes, that's
that's not
exactly what it
sushi.
is. My
That's not
favorite sushi
sushi.
is well, my favorite raw, like I guess sashimi is I love
California.
salmon. Salmon or tuna. Those are I don't really like the whitefish. The whitefish is too bland for me. You know.
I love tuna.
Hmm. But honestly, I just like sushi's just nice, fun food for me. I just enjoy it. It's a nice snack. It's refreshing. Yeah. Which is kind of interesting. I was watching Lisa's luxury life in the middle. She did her first Japan blog. So she just got back from Japan and she's released one video so far and it was so funny because they were going to these I guess they're called like pachenke machines or something where they have the
Yeah.
little and she was saying like, "Oh, I'm not it's all adults in here." I'm like, "Well, yeah, mostly it is all adults. It's the gambling. It's
It's
like
gambling.
it's a guessing gambling. It's like the blind boxes. It's just put a coin in, get your thing out, and it's just And she was really surprised by that. But she was in Tokyo, and it was really funny because her husband and her they were showing like what to order and what to get, and it was just it's very much fun to watch because while I have been to the Japanese airport many times, I have never actually been into Japan. So it was kind of cool to see from their perspective of people who were just like their first time there, where they went and the shopping. But I've heard this from many, many, many vloggers that go to Japan regularly to shop. Tokyo does not have good pre-love. They have a lot of it, but the best prices aren't in Tokyo.
No, they're out. It's outside of
Yeah,
Tokyo. I
yeah.
want to go to one of those conveyor belt sushi restaurants.
Oh, I went to one that was in Seattle. It was so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. Yeah. We spent a lot of money though. It was expensive
We should go
because you
to
just
a Korean barbecue when you're here.
well, there's one in Orlando that every time I see CC Lover LV, she talks about it in I think it's something about a conveyor belts of sushi place in Orlando, and like I want to go, but I don't remember the name anymore.
Hmm.
We're always so busy.
Yeah, I live so far away from Orlando right now. I would not go, but I'm trying to check out all the stuff around here in Ocala, see if there's anything good, but I don't know. I don't know. But we have easy access to Gainesville and Jacksonville. But last time I went to Gainesville, I was like, gosh, there's nothing here.
Grace says Tokyo is actually expensive. My mom just came back from those small Chanel bags pre-loved is more expensive than the store can't. Oh, I could believe that. I do believe that because I've seen so many resellers go to Japan that I think I'm hoping I think they said Osaka, but it's not in Tokyo. And you have to go to the small places off the side of the road, kind of hidden, and
I
the
can't
store.
remember um, I watch a lot of channels of people who like live in different parts of Asia, and I can't remember the girl's name now. It's been a long time who went shopping for luxury, and it's way you go, you don't, it's not, you take a train and go
Hmm.
to other towns.
Hmm. I believe the cheaper pre-loved stores is called Booksmart in Japan. Well, actually, Jessie Styles is Japan vacations. She actually shows some really good pre-loved
Deals.
stuff because
Yeah.
they've gone there often. So she goes there. That's I mean they're in it's a very close vacationing location to where they live in Australia.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to be. It's funny because I was just watching Romina. I don't think I finished the video, but she flew over to New York. That's her favorite vacation city, but she's coming from England, which is a straight shot, easy to get there, 8 hours. Like I'm not saying it's an easy 8 hours. It's still 8 hours in an airplane, which I loathe, but it's an easy hop and a trip to go vacation somewhere. I know I enjoy
Jesse's
Jessie
so
too.
fun. She's so
I
fun.
love her voice. She has her high squeaky voice. Hi, it's Jessie.
Yes.
You know, that's
Oh,
the hardest thing about being on YouTube was getting used to hearing what my voice sounds like on a recording.
oh yeah.
How
I just sound like my sister, so it doesn't bother me. Don't you have that same thing?
well, it bothers me. Yeah, I sound just like my twin. Yes. Key says for Indonesians, Thai, and Filipinos with money, they all go to Japan once a year to eat
To eat
and
and shop.
shop. Yeah, absolutely.
Makes
And
sense.
Thailand, Bangkok is actually a playground for a lot of Japanese people to come to because and it actually used to be Hong Kong before Hong Kong became Chinese again. Um, but now Hong Kong is Chinese again, so now everybody comes to Bangkok in that area for vacationing. But for shopping, yeah, right now with the yen being down, let's go over to Japan. Hi,
Messiah,
Messiah
you're
says,
just yourself. You really don't try to hide it.
well,
Do I
your
really
voice.
sound that
I
bad?
do. I always. I thought I sound different than this. And he goes, James, is this how I sound? And he's like, yeah, that's how you sound. I'm like, oh, I didn't know my voice was that like. I don't know. Hi. I thought my voice was a lot lower in tone. Japanese go to Thailand to eat and get massages. Yeah, because yeah, Thai massages are like it's a good type of pain, y'all. every pressure point is touched, and you are about to you feel like you're dead when you're done because you cannot move. But the next 2 days, everything is released and you can walk again. You're like, oh, this feels great. Let's do that again. But while it's happening, you're like, I'm dying. Why am I paying for this? It's like this hurts. Katie says I sound like a
Like a
12-year-old.
12-year-old.
Jennifer says I think I sound like a man when my voice is recorded. Yeah. I see in my own head, I feel like my voice is deeper than it is. Um,
Nice low voice. Um, I have an OR story, just so you know, that I cannot tell unless I tell it like on one of Jackie's members only lives.
we can do it Saturday
Okay. I have to do
or
it
Sunday.
on your live.
Yeah, on my channel. Yeah.
I don't think it's PG enough for. Does anybody want to hear another
One
one?
little
I have
warning.
another one.
Yes.
I sit here and try
We
to
love
think.
work stories.
Now, this story is another one that came from the same hospital I was at with the Grey Poupon story. So this is 25 to 30 years old, is how old this story is. So I don't feel bad telling it. I don't like to tell stories about, because of HIPAA, because I don't want people to recognize themselves in my stories because, this was over 25 years ago. So anyway, I have to spill some tea on another. Okay. So are you a member? Is Frozen Luxury a member? Okay, cool.
I think he's Saya. You're a member. Yeah, he's a member of my membership.
Okay. So we'll call this one brushing up on your skills. So we had this guy come in. He was, I think, in his late 20s, early 30s. Great big guy with a beard and, and big old, I'll never forget. Now, I can't remember what he looks like, what his name was, but I'll never forget. He had to lay on his side and he had a great big rebel flag tattoo that said, "Don't tread on me," on his arm.
Used to
But
be kind of common. Yeah.
yeah, but the reason that he was in there is because he had a shower brush stuck in his butt and he couldn't get it out. So anyway.
How do you get that out? First of all, how does that go in? But no, how does it come out?
Oh, well, I can tell you that nobody ever puts anything in their rectum.
They fell.
Okay?
They fell on it. Yes.
Yeah, they fell on it. Always. They always fell on it. But anyway, once we got it out, which I'll tell you how we got it out, it had a hook to hang it on the top that was flat across and then came down. It was about 2 inches across and about 1 inch down, just like this. And then and it was kind of shaped like, so it was, it was hooking on the inside on his intestines. And he couldn't get it out. So, and anyway,
who thought that? Why did he think this was a good thing to do?
Don't know. Anyway, so
it has a hook.
So the worst part was that the person who was, it's not an emergency because he's not bleeding or anything, though, since that's there, it's kind of allowing things to just flow. So they had to keep changing his chucks and stuff, and he couldn't lay on his back because that would like push it and move it around.
I don't even know how he got to the hospital.
And I don't know how he got to the hospital either. I have no idea. But anyway, the general on call was in surgery in another town. So, because we were out in the boonies, remember, it wasn't here. It was when I worked in another county. And anyway, so he had to lay out there in pre-op on his side, which is also PACU because this was a small hospital. He had to lay there on his side and they had to keep going over. Of course, they flip that blanket up. There's this brush and change the chuck out from underneath it. And all. Anyway, so we get him back in the OR, and the way that once the general surgeon got there and we got him back there, there are colonoscopy scopes, colonoscopes, and there are EGD scopes, which I'm not even going to try to. It's like esophageal gastro duodenum scope. So it's a $1,000 word. Anyway, they're called EGD scopes, and they're smaller in diameter because they go down, they go in your nose and down your throat. It wasn't a toilet brush, it was a shower brush. So, with a hook on it, and it was hooked. So what he did was he took an EGD scope, because but a lot of it was hanging out, so it couldn't be that far up there. Took an EGD, lubed him up, took an EGD scope, and went up and see where it was hooked, so he could maneuver the brush and maneuver the hook and get it unhooked, and get it out, and everything was fine. He didn't have to have surgery, which was great, because I don't know how we would operate to get that out. I mean, because it's low in the pelvis and that's hard to get to anyway. So anyway, of course, leave it to anesthesia. Anesthesia is always, how they deal with their stress, because anesthesia, if you're married to an anesthesiologist or you are an anesthesiologist, you know that their lives are calm, 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 calm. Oh shit, emergency, emergency, emergency. Calm, 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 calm. That's how their day is. And they deal with that with humor. And so remember, after the Grey Poupon story, the anesthesiologists the lead will always come around and check on all his people in the rooms and see how far along cases are, so they can keep the schedule moving. So he would open the door and go, pardon me, for because of the Grey Poupon.
Years.
Well, of course, after Brush Guy, it changed. He would open the door and go, oh, I see you're brushing up on your skills. And that went on for forever. So, yes, that's brushing up on your skills story. They were very funny out there. Anyway, thanks for listening.
That's funny. It's still shocking. It's like, really,
I don't understand people.
I stopped understanding people a long time ago and just accepted. It's like Luxacial says, I bet he never tried that again. I hope not. I hope not.
I hope not.
It's like, y'all,
I want to hear Grey Poupon. That was in another live stream. Grey Poupon, we actually had to operate on the guy. It's another things up the butt story, Maria.
That was in the last live. Was it the last live or live before? Yeah, it was a recent live. It was funny. No, 2 lives ago, I think, on Jolie's channel. You should write an anthology of these stories. Here's the thing, Marilla. I think every OR nurse ever has a whole litany of
stories. Yeah. Some people do, but they're like ebooks and stuff. Is that how the Fuller Brush salesmen carry their samples around these days? Very good, Jennifer. That's good. Remember Fuller Brush? Does that still exist?
I actually still have those. I buy them for my the lint dryer brushes, the long ones. You can still buy them to get the lint out of the drying traps. Yeah, they're not easy to find anymore, but you used to be able to go to the box of any of the hardware stores and get a straw broom with a wood handle. Do you know that that's like impossible to find now? Just to get a regular straw broom with a wood handle. They don't
everything's
exist.
plastic.
Yeah. I was like, they used to be only $10. It's like seriously, they're only $10 to start with, So I don't know.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? The Grey Poupon story. When did we tell that? I think I wrote it down.
I think it was 2 lives ago. With a Thursday, it would have been Thursday last week.
Short version of the Grey Poupon. Guy sticks a whole jar of Grey Poupon up his behind for some damn reason. And once something goes up, it's a low pressure system. It won't come back out. Instead, it shoots up and gets over into the transverse colon and sits up here under your stomach. And then it won't move. It just sits there and it has to be removed. And that is what happened with a jar of Grey Poupon. And we had to...
But what made it funny...
We had to do surgery, and it's wedged in, and it's stuck because of its sucking, and it's big. So it's the intestines, like, after you cut it open, trying to get it out is even hard because then the intestine is just collapsing behind it because of velocis. And so the surgeon goes, I'm going to take the lid off. So he does. He didn't. He used like a bottle opener type, like a well, he used one of our instruments like a bottle opener, and it goes pop, and Grey Poupon shoots up everywhere. We're all covered in Grey Poupon. You can smell mustard in the whole OR. And anyway, so for a couple of months, um, anesthesia would open up the door to check on cases, going, "Pardon me, how far along are you?"
Here's the thing, and what I asked guys, ladies, was I asked Jolee, any women in the OR with this affliction? Apparently not, because
Never,
we
no.
know we know there's
Worked in the OR for 35
anatomy.
years.
Okay,
Not once
guys?
did I ever see a woman with something shoved up her butt. No, that's not a thing.
Yeah, because you
Well,
know
the
how
woman's
this
G
works.
spot is not up her butt, but a man's
Please don't
is.
understand what a rectum and a colon does. If anybody's taking basic anatomy, and I'm talking high school health here, guys.
Yeah, but they don't teach you about the prostate gland in basic health.
What school did y'all go into? It's like I talk to James all the time about stuff, and he's like, Jackie, you went to a 3A school. I went to a 1A school. Like, what? Like, what does to do with it? Because we had 100 people in the entire school. You had 800 people in your graduating class.
Yeah, we
I'm
had
like,
close to 800.
oh.
We had close to 800.
So
Um,
to me, it's like that's just basic. Ever looked at the Grey's Anatomy book? You can see everything right there.
we had one of the girls at one of the hospitals that I worked with over on the coast convinced that she needed to have her prostate checked. So I called their doctor. So
And
she needs her
explain that women don't have one. Like,
Oh,
good
okay.
Lord.
Anyway,
Whatever.
Jackie wanted to go back to bed early tonight, so we had to go live
Yeah,
early.
we went live early
So
because I have to go to work tomorrow, and I did field work this week, and I was barely awake when I text her, can we go on live early? Because what happens is I come on live, and then I get super into it, I
you
get
get
all
charged
prepped up,
up,
and then it takes
then
2
you can't
hours for me to
sleep.
come off
Yeah.
and I can't sleep. So
Well, Thursday's fine, but I think that we started an hour into McFabulous's 2-hour live that he does from 6 to 8, which is why we picked 8 o'clock. But we can do 7. But
it's Thursday. Does he go live on Thursdays?
oh no, that's on Sundays.
Sundays, yeah.
That's on
Thursdays,
Sundays.
I think Caleb goes live, but he has his own audience,
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, we can
I don't know
change
who goes
this to
live on
7.
Thursday.
We can change this to 7 if you like.
The thing is, when I actually go to the office, as soon as I can guarantee I'm here is 6:30. So 7's fine normally during the work week. It's just that this week I worked from home today. Well, I didn't work today because I worked a 16-hour day yesterday. I worked 2 days in one.
And if you all are getting,
So,
yeah, I wonder how he fell on that jar. That is the truth, Maria, because nobody ever puts anything in. It's just magically there, except for one straight guy just totally admitted it. And the bomb squad got called that night. And that's a story for next time. But anyway,
I'm going to remind you.
Yeah, the bomb
now.
squad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the reason this might be confusing is because Jackie and I are not in the same time zone.
Yeah. I'm Central, she's Eastern.
Right.
I don't know why she had to go. But Florida's a funny state. Part of Florida is Central.
Well, if you live in the panhandle.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm getting off, going to bed. I will see y'all tomorrow. I don't have anything to unbox, but I do have a lot of stuff to show you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.